Welcome. You're listening to Seen from the Inside. I'm your host, Neha Negandhi. Today in studio with us, we have the lead singer of the 90s hip trio band called 702. She was also a season 3 cast member of the show called R&B Divas Atlanta. But more importantly is that after she had her son and he was diagnosed with autism, she started her own foundation called P.R.O.U.D, which stands for Parents Reaching Out to Understand Developmental Delays. And when I met her initially and found out that she started this foundation to help out raise autism awareness, I was like, you must be on my show. So let's welcome Meelah to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I am very excited to have you here. And we met initially at the Andrew Young Leadership International Awards red carpet.
Yes.
And I was talking to you about creating social good, and you mentioned that you have your own foundation, which raises awareness for autism. And I think, and people don't know this, but 1 out of 68 American children, according to the CDC, is diagnosed with a child that's somewhere on this autism spectrum, and that is a huge, sobering statistic.
It's very huge. The number is staggering.
It is.
Yeah, it's increased. It used to be like 1 in 48, now it's like 1 in 68. It's really, really growing, which is, it's unfortunate and it's very alarming. Mostly boys are diagnosed.
Yes.
I think boys are 4 times more likely, or possibly even 5 times more likely than girls.
But autism does not know color. It does not draw any lines. It doesn't differentiate between girls, boys, wherever. It happens. It is a complex neurobiological disorder.
It is, and it's there's so much controversy out there because, of course, there are several theories. As a parent, you try and sometimes develop your own theory. Oh, was it me? Was it what I ate while I was pregnant? What did I do wrong? And it's honestly, we don't know what it is.
Right.
We don't know if it's environmental. Some parents like to say it's, maybe vaccines or maybe nutrition. I mean, there's so many controversial things surrounded by it, but truthfully, the bottom line is it is what it is, and you just have to love your child,
right, and accept them, and they're just
do what you can,
right, and they're here, and they're going to be responsible citizens, and they're going to give back to the world just like we all try to do, right? I mean, that's what we're going to try to raise them to be.
Absolutely. As a parent, first of all, I only have one son, so this is my firstborn, and so I had several different emotions, when I found out he was autistic. Right. I didn't know how to really process it. For me, though, it wasn't even about like, oh, I shouldn't have got these shots or that shots. I had a traumatic delivery. And so his name is Zachariah. We call him Zach for short. So Zach ended up being in the neonatal for almost 2 months. He was in the NICU. Wow. And he didn't come home until, he was born March 30th, and he didn't come home until Mother's Day, like in May. Because he was just inside of me too long. He didn't want to come out of my little warm belly. I was pregnant for 10 months.
Wow, Meelah.
Don't do like me, girl.
Wow. And she's
42 weeks.
She's mentioning that, listeners, because I am currently 8 months pregnant. So, yes. And so she's like, I was like, no.
Get him out of there.
Yes.
Zach just didn't want to come out. And unfortunately, he didn't know how to get out of there and was sick and had a bowel movement. And so that caused him to... he kind of just had a bit too much toxin in his lungs from the bowel, and they call it meconium aspiration.
Yes.
And so he couldn't breathe. So he pretty much came out not breathing. Oh. And they told me he wasn't going to live.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he was born in Johns Creek, had to be rushed over to Emory. I couldn't even go with him because I had this emergency C-section. So I didn't even get to see him for like 4 days.
Oh my
Crazy.
goodness. That is traumatic to the extreme.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yes, it was so traumatic. I had just moved to Atlanta. My mother hadn't even made it yet. She was still in Vegas trying to get on a flight. I mean, it was just...
Meelah, I had no idea. I mean, I guess it's not something that you put out there.
Right. No, it was very, very, very traumatic. Thank you, God, he lived. He survived. But yeah, we were told that he had a 90% chance of dying.
Oh my goodness.
And
oh my goodness.
It was
oh my goodness.
Scary. Yeah, it was really, really scary.
Deep breath.
I know.
Deep breath. Inhale.
This is why I probably won't have any more kids, and I'll probably drink a red bottle of wine by myself.
But Zach is a beautiful little boy.
Yes,
and growing.
He is great now. I mean, clearly because he was in the NICU and he had a lot of drugs and everything. I feel like that contributed to his developmental delays. Unfortunately, there was no oxygen to the brain, so.
Perhaps that was part of it. I mean,
absolutely, all that I'm sure was inclusive.
Yeah.
That our main thing was just trying to get him not to die. Right. So he was on a machine called the ECMO machine, and that serves as like a respirator of sorts. He was on a respirator and an ECMO machine, and that like helped him not to have to use his lungs. It acted as lungs for him. So the ECMO machine saved his life.
Well, there you go. Props to them.
So he's good.
Thanks for developing that.
Yeah, right. I know. I just wish it would have been in Johns Creek, so we wouldn't have to go all the way over to Emory. But hey. So he's all right. He's just went in speech therapy, occupational therapy. He does have some developmental delays. He's unable to communicate fully. So there's a lack of speech, and he's 8 years old. Yeah. So he does, with certain things, not really understand on age-appropriate levels. In some areas he may test around a 4 or 5 year old level when he's really 8. But he's so vibrant and so smart. He loves to sing. Like, he sings very clearly.
Well, I mean, you know what I always say? The apple does not fall far from the tree.
DNA.
I say that very often.
Yeah.
So
he's definitely taken after mommy and daddy. So he can't help but to love music. However, I feel like he needs to be in the arts because he loves to just act in the mirror all day. He repeats all his dialogue from his cartoons, but he won't talk to mommy. But
that's really
no. He's so artsy. Like he's very just into the arts. I think he's a performing arts kid for sure.
Well, I mean,
hates sports.
Loves
drama. He's a drama kid.
Well, I have to mention that his dad is the music soul child. So coming from 2 musician parents, it doesn't seem very far-fetched that he would be into the arts and into performances.
Very true.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, it's genetic. And his dad, totally anti-sports as well. So
there you go. My point is now proven.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to force a ball in his little boy's hand. He's like, "Why, Mom? Leave me alone.
Give me the microphone instead, Mom."
Right.
That's what I really want. Hey, so let's talk about this. You were born and raised in Las Vegas, and I associate Las Vegas with the stereotypical images of the Strip and binge partying and the beautiful pools and all of this. I don't think I've ever met somebody that's actually born and raised in Las Vegas.
I know.
So tell us what that was like.
I get that a lot. Yeah, surprisingly enough, there are lots of us born there. My mother was born there in 1952.
Wow.
So my grandparents.
There was no Strip then.
Sort of, kind of, but it wasn't the Strip that we know today.
Right.
There was like downtown, which was probably more the Strip. Than the Strip was.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where like the Rat Pack and Sammy Davis Jr. Sammy couldn't perform on the Strip because he was black.
Right.
So he'd have to go to the Moulin Rouge, which is like less than a mile from my grandparents' house.
Okay.
They just actually demolished that, but it was such a historic
So did your mom and your grandparents go like watch him?
Leave it to my grandfather who's now deceased. He's so funny. He would always say, I helped build Las Vegas.
That's right.
Because he was in construction and he worked at the test site, and he claims that he helped build Las Vegas.
You gotta claim it. You gotta claim it to own it.
I love it.
Right?
So that's really home for me. My mother is one of 8 children, and they were all there in Las Vegas. But most people that are in Las Vegas that are from there, usually our grandparents migrated from the South or something like that.
Okay. And so what was it like in your house? Was there like always a lot of people? Was there singing? Was there reading books? Like what was it like? Give us what was it like growing up?
Well, my mom and dad were together until I was about 3, and then they divorced. But my father was always around. It's only myself and my sister. So I had a small immediate family, but then my mother, as I said, she's one of 8, so her family, oh my gosh, huge.
Yeah.
And so her maiden name is Jackson. That's my grandfather's last name. So it's so funny because all my family sings, except my sister, bless her heart. She's like the only one that doesn't sing.
No, well,
but because her last name is Jackson, it's so funny. Like they would always sing. Everybody sang in church. All my uncles, my aunts, everybody, my cousins, like everybody sings. And I actually have an uncle, my mom's youngest brother, named Michael. So he's Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's so funny. We would definitely make sure we would be having some type of musical night, absolutely, at my grandma's house. Because I was in the choir, my mom was in the choir, all her siblings were in the church choir, it was a family affair for sure. And that's where I started singing, like
that's
church.
That's where your love,
the roots,
came from.
Absolutely.
And then you went on to the Las Vegas Academy of the Arts.
Yes, the Performing Arts School, high school. Yes, that was awesome.
Was it wonderful?
It was. I just missed our reunion, unfortunately, but maybe I'll catch the next one. But it was cool. You know, actually, Neo went to that high school.
Neo did?
Yes.
No, I didn't know
Tina
that.
Wesley from Queen Sugar. She went to that high school as well. We all were there together, actually.
Wow, that is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when we come back, we're going to have to take a short break. But when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about the group 702 because the band members went to this high school as well.
They did,
right?
Yes.
And then we'll talk about 702, and then we'll talk about R&B Divas Atlanta.
Okay.
And then we'll start talking a little bit more about P.R.O.U.D, the organization that you founded to help raise awareness about autism. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Seen from the Inside. I'm your host, Neha Negandhi. Today on the show, we have former lead singer of the 90s hip trio called 702. And she also was a cast member on season 3 of R&B Diva Atlanta. Let's welcome back Meelah to our show. Welcome.
Yay, thank you.
This has been so much fun talking to you.
Oh, good. Thank you.
We've had a chance to talk about her foundation that she started to raise autism awareness, and also how she grew up in Las Vegas. And I was saying to her that I've never really met anybody that grew up in Las Vegas, but she said her home was full of music and laughter and family, lots of family. Which is great, which is wonderful.
Awesome. Yes.
So you went to Las Vegas School of Performing Arts,
correct,
where you met your bandmates.
Yes.
The other two. At first, there were 4 girls in the band in the group, right?
Right.
702.
Originally, yes, they were. It was a quartet. It was 4 girls.
It was 4 girls, and then it went down to being a trio.
Right.
It ended up
being wanted to make some changes.
Right.
So yes, he swapped out 2 of the girls, and myself, and one more girl auditioned, but then I ended up just being kept.
Yes, and not only kept, but she took over, guys. But your voice is so beautiful. I have to tell you this. I grew up in the 90s too.
Yeah.
And I went back and was listening to a lot of your songs from 702, and you know where it took me back. It took me back to this very special place about music, good music, and where I felt like, gosh, talking about kissing is moving the boundary line. Now there are no boundary lines in music.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
And we both have 8-year-old sons that ride in the car with us, and the radio is sometimes on, and I am sometimes mortified at some of the things that they say.
I know.
And I'm like, okay, well, we don't need to listen to this. I mean, do you have that feeling?
Oh, absolutely. But this is why I'm an old head. I mostly tune into WCOK 91.9.
Oh, that's a good, yeah.
I just I've always loved jazz.
Yes.
And my son, he likes it too, because that's what I play mostly around him. He has an iPod that he had when he was in the hospital.
Oh, nice.
And his dad made a playlist for his hospital room, and so that playlist is still going strong, and it's classical and jazz and just all types
the foundation.
Yes,
laying that foundation about.
So I mean, don't get me wrong, I like my little trap turn up music too. I mean, I performed. I live in Atlanta. Okay, what can I say? But I prefer, when I'm in the car with my son, absolutely, I'll just play some cool old school R&B.
Right.
What's that new 87.7? I love that station.
Yes, that's a good one too.
Or I did a children's album actually back in 2013, 2014.
Yes.
Called We Are Different.
Yes.
And it's still on iTunes. It's really dope. He loved most of the songs on there. He would sing along. Oh. So I'll play that sometimes for him too.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So tell us, 702 had a lot of hit singles. What was that like to be in the limelight, to be exposed, and did you get to perform or go to the Grammys and all that stuff?
It all happened so fast. Now it just feels like a whirlwind. It was awesome. It was nothing short of a blessing. I was right out of high school. I was I think I graduated. Yeah, I graduated high school, and I they moved us to New York to shoot the video for Stilo, our first single that Missy Elliott produced. And so once that song took off, everything was just Michael Bivins from New Edition, BBD, signed 702. So our first tour was with New Edition, Blackstreet, Keith Sweat, and Gosh, it was one more band. I'm forgetting. Anywho, we were the opening act. And it was 33 cities. And I'm 17, 18 years old. And, I mean, I can't even articulate that experience.
Wow.
I mean, we saw everything. That's when I first met Miss Whitney Houston, because she and Bobby were married. I mean, it was just, that was a heck of a tour. And I'm just grateful. I mean, we just had so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. I don't think I realized how big we were going to be, or at the time how fast things happened, and like, the success that we had back then.
Right.
I was just enjoying it though. I was just along for the ride.
Was it wonderful?
Oh yeah.
Doors being opened for you left and right.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was also a little scary.
Yes.
Because I was so young.
Yeah.
My mother wasn't around. So there was a lot of, things that were accessible.
Right.
So praise God, I was raised well enough to,
to
most
understand.
of the time make
right.
the decisions.
I make the right decisions, right?
Yes.
Right. Make the right decisions.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so then you moved to Atlanta because you just were like, I think I want to come back to the South, or I want to be in the South?
Well, no. So after Vegas, I lived in New York for a short time, and then we moved to Los Angeles.
Okay.
Brandy Norwood's mother was managing us. And so we moved to the Valley, like a block away from them, a mile away from them.
Yeah.
And so we lived out there for a little while, and then this was during Where My Girl's At album. It's like the peak of our career. Like when it was like, things were really going great.
Yeah.
But the girls wanted to move. They moved back to Vegas.
Okay.
Because that's our hometown, and they're sisters, so they moved back home. And I just wanted to stay there because I just didn't want to go back home.
Right.
And so I lived in LA like 10 years, and then fast forward, I was bored, and I was just like, okay, I need a change. And, I just started praying and asking God for a change, but then you have to be specific, because then I got pregnant. Didn't really want a baby, but that's what happened, because clearly it was time for a change. And so I moved here because Music and I had gotten together. We were having a baby, and so he was already living here, so I moved here to start a family.
That's what instigated the move. Okay, now I get it.
But I loved Atlanta. I would always come here. I was in Atlanta a lot. I was working with, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Noontime. Noontime Productions was like huge.
Oh, yes.
In the early 2000s here in Hipco Publishing. And like I was just out here, as a songwriter, just freelancing, just really trying to find myself, like in between albums.
Right.
So I loved Atlanta. So it's just kind of funny how full circle it just ended up being my home.
And now you live here.
Yep.
With your son and Music Soul Child.
Well, no, just my son now.
Just your son now.
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay. It's public knowledge. We've broken up. It's okay. We're friends. We're co-parenting.
Yes.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Yes.
Well, that's important.
That's
as long as you
important.
guys have a good relationship.
Yes.
So Zach understands that
That's
mom
right.
and dad,
Yes.
on good terms, and that they both want.
I mean, that's what it has to be. And not only that, we actually are doing business together as well. I'm actually signed to his music company through E1 Distribution and working on a solo album. So, we're working. We're being grown about it, and that's really what it's about. It's about Zach.
It is. As
Yeah.
long as he comes first and foremost, then
Yes.
that's important.
Yep.
So let's segue into that. So you've got a solo album coming out.
Yes.
And it's been many years
It has.
since we've heard you on the airwaves.
I know.
Now digital music is taking over.
I know.
It's a brand new world out there.
It's so new and so foreign. Like, it's unrecognizable.
I'm sure it is, right? Like I said, I'm a child of the 90s.
Right.
I
Don't you get it?
understand.
Yeah. Cassette tapes and, the big reels where you had to sing every hook every time.
Yeah.
No auto-tune. You couldn't fly the hook. Like, no, you had to really work.
Yes. But it's different
You had to really
now.
sing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's different now. It is.
Yes.
It's just the world of technology. And
So when is the album dropping?
I don't have a date yet. I just started recording at the top of this year.
Okay.
And
you wrote your own songs?
I write my stuff and I co-write, so I don't mind, getting others to come in and write with me.
Okay.
I always feel like I need another perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But I do like to write my own music because I want to tell my own story because I know what I've been through.
and nobody does it better than you.
Yes.
Right.
Especially now. In 702 when I was singing stuff like Get It Together, I didn't know what I was singing about. I was like 17, 18 years old.
Right. Right.
But now, honey.
It's a very different world.
Yes.
It's a very different world. So in between, before your solo album comes out, you were a cast member on R&B Divas,
Correct.
Atlanta. And it's a reality show that starred on TV One Network.
Yes.
How was that experience like?
It was cool.
Yeah.
I was a little reluctant in the beginning because I'm like, oh Lord, what's gonna happen? Are we gonna be fighting and throwing tables and wine bottles? Like, what do I have to? What am I signing up for?
Right.
But I realized as we were talking about how everything's changed that, reality TV is it's like the new record deal. It's a form of basically it's like free advertisement, you know. And so I thought about it and I realized that it would be a good idea to just use that platform to share my story about my son.
Yes.
And so that's why I ultimately made the decision to go ahead and do it.
Well, I found it interesting when you were talking on the show about skin color.
Yes.
And how you were bullied because of skin color. And I have to tell, when I read this, my cultural background is Indian.
Okay.
And skin color is very important in our culture as well. If you are a darker skin tone, then, you're often stigmatized and ridiculed and shunned sometimes. And so when I was reading about this and you were talking about it, I really connected to it.
It's a real thing, unfortunately. It's almost embarrassing that it's still an issue, within the African American community, within all communities, clearly. I don't know. Thankfully it didn't last long.
Right.
It was mostly in elementary school. And, you're in first, second, third grade, so clearly you don't understand, why you're being teased and called names. So I would just go home to my mom and try to figure out why are they picking on me. But my mom always instilled in me, how beautiful I was and how pretty I was, and she always put that in my mind. And so thankfully that ended up sticking and I got through that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they would just call me names and I just wouldn't get it. And it's so funny now how it's it's on certain levels. It's cool to have this pretty dark skin,
Yes.
like a commercial world. All the agencies love it.
Right.
But then you have, unfortunately, those that still feel
saying what they never comes out of their mouth.
Yeah, the other way is better. But unfortunately, it's we're all beautiful. That's the great thing about being black. We're an array of colors.
Right.
So it's awesome to me.
Well, black is beautiful. That's what they say. So
listen, last time I checked.
Yes. And Meelah definitely defines that.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
Listen, we're going to take a short break and we're going to come back and ask Meelah some rapid fire fun questions. So stay tuned. Welcome back. You're listening to Seen from the Inside. I'm your host, Neha Negandhi. In studio with us, we have Meelah. And you are just a joy to have in the studio with us.
Thank you.
And you're always welcome to come back.
Thank you.
Your album drops, and you're going to be right there sitting in that hot seat.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
All the promo I can get. So I appreciate that.
Yes, you just let us know. Okay. So June is in honor of Father's Day. And I just want to ask you if your father or there was another male figure in your life that influenced you that still resonates with you today.
Well, my father was in my life, although my parents were divorced. He was in my life. But I have to say my grandfather was just, he was just everybody's father. He was just that super strong male influence. He was so dominant, so powerful. He was born in 1923.
Right.
And he only had a 5th grade education. Because he had to start picking cotton to raise his family. And as I stated earlier, he moved to Vegas to have a better life for his family. And he just really took care of home. That's where I learned that a man is to be the provider, is to take care of his family. He's like the rock, of our family. And he passed away about 3 years ago, but he loved me to pieces. He lived a great life, though. He was 92 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. He called me Pig. That was my nickname.
Y'all remember that?
I don't know why, girl, because I was skinny when I was little.
Yeah, and you still are. You are still on. Very much so.
I beg to differ. It's the big pants. But no. But I loved it. That was his term of endearment for me. Pig. And when I got in 702, he and my grandmother were elated. So every time I would come, off tour or whatever, he'd be like, oh, there's Pig 702. There she comes.
Love it.
Pig 702. I was like, not Pig 702. Not that. You don't want to call me Meelah, Grandpa? Seriously. But it was just so cute because nobody else, that was his nickname for me. He didn't call any of the other grandchildren. He had 1 trillion grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
Wow.
He called nobody else that. I was Pig, and I loved it. Like, it made me feel special. And thank you, God, he was able to meet my son before he passed away.
Wonderful.
Yes, so he met his great-grandson. But he was just a very strong, powerful man, and he worked really hard to make sure his family was taken care of, and he loved his daughters. He has, I have uncles as well, but he was just partial to the girls, so we got special treatment.
What a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing that.
His name was Charles Jackson. He was a veteran. Like, I can go on and on. He was a good guy.
Yes. The man that built Las Vegas.
That's
Remember
right.
Remember that.
His tagline, if he was ever a house husband of Atlanta, he helped build
That's right. Let's remember him for who he was. Okay. All right. So it is time now for rapid fire questions. I'm going to ask you a question, and you just say the first thing that's on the top of your brain. All right?
Okay.
All right? All right. Here we go. Ready? I'm a little nervous now. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
What's your favorite cartoon to watch with your son?
Yo Gabba Gabba.
That's a good one. What is your favorite song?
Just one song? I Still Love You, 702.
Okay. I cook a mean
Spaghetti.
with meatballs or without?
With ground turkey.
Ah, nice.
A nice salmon too, actually.
Oh, and a nice one. Okay. Your favorite place to hang out when you just want it to be quiet?
In my room, my door locked, lights off, Netflix on.
Okay, now speaking of that, what's your favorite show to watch?
Oh, so many. Gosh. Right now I'm kind of obsessed with HGTV.
HGTV? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a good one. Okay.
Flip or Flop.
Oh, that is a good one. I watched it.
I'm sorry. What's Fixer Upper? Sorry.
Yes, that's a good one too.
That's my favorite.
Yeah,
I love Joanna and Chip Gaines.
Yes.
I love that show.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah. Like, I watch a marathon.
I actually am a fan of theirs too, and she got good jewelry.
I know.
She has a whole jewelry line.
I saw.
Yes, we need to get into that.
Girl, and she's getting into skincare now. I mean, like, really, Miss Gaines.
We can just go on and on about.
Like, I'm obsessed with. No, I'm obsessed. I follow them on Instagram. Like, I'm really obsessed.
Well, see, now
I may start flipping homes because of them.
Okay, so last question: where do you like to hang out in Atlanta?
MJQ.
MJQ? Are you serious? No, come on. I used to hang out there. Oh, that's the last place.
Listen, I like to get my life, okay?
Oh, that is the last place I thought you were going to say.
I'm very layered.
That's amazing. I love that.
Don't you love that?
I love that.
Dark and gritty.
Yes. But good music.
Great music.
Oh.
That's where I go.
Oh,
and you don't have to be bothered. Like, it's in the dark.
Right. Nobody, yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay, listen. Meelah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful work that you're doing with your organization called P.R.O.U.D. Once again, it stands for Parents Reaching Out to Understand Developmental Delays. It raises awareness about autism, you guys. And if you want more information, or if this is a place that you feel like you need to spend your time creating social good, how can they get more information?
They can just go to my website, itsmeelah.com.
Itsmeelah.com, and
yes.
that's MEELAH, you guys.
It's actually, it's before it, sorry. It's
Okay.
ITSMEELAH. Yeah.
Okay.
And there'll be a link to, I think, the P.R.O.U.D. Facebook page.
Okay.
But stay tuned. We like to have an annual event every year. I haven't had it this year yet, so we're in the process of putting something together. And it's going to be different from the past 2 years. Past 2 years we have benefit concerts. This year we're going to switch it up and turn it up a notch. So stay tuned. Yes.
So once that happens, I will make a little announcement. I'll let you know about that and when it's going to happen and how you
definitely
can buy tickets or whatever it's going to be. But thank you so much. Much continued success.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me and allowing me to share my story and my platform and use it, for good and all that good stuff. I appreciate it.
Yes, and please come back. Please come back.
I will. Thank you. Thanks, listeners.
Get more Inside Scoop by following us on social media. On Facebook and Instagram, we're at Seen from the Inside. That's SEEN from the Inside. On Twitter, we're at Seen from Inside. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Seen from the Inside Talk Show. Stay tuned for more.